Hi, I'm Jimmy. I'm from Washington, D.C., and I'm a strategy consultant. It feels incredible, all right? I've been on edge on my seat for like the last few months at this point. Well, I guess month and a half. But it's incredible. I mean, like, if you had told me a year ago today when I was celebrating the 4th of July in Idaho that I'd be now sitting in the Big Brother diary room talking to you, I would tell you, there's no way that was the case. And right, and especially like younger me, Jimmy, who was watching BB16 10 years ago, shortly after coming out and shortly after having my parents lose our house. Like, if you had told me, flash forward 10 years, the 25th anniversary of the show, I'd be sitting right here, I wouldn't have believed you. And I am so excited to be here. It's insane. And I'm ready for this summer of twists and turns. I can't wait to see what's ahead in store for us. I'm going to win Big Brother because I have a strategy background, professionally and personally. I come from a world where manipulation and understanding who you want to get something from and when you want to get it is key. And I come into the house with a strong amount of self-awareness. I know what I need to say, I know who I need to say it to, and I know exactly what I need to do to win. I'm ready to put my chips on the board, I'm ready to show my cards, and I'm just ready to play and ready to play to win. I'm not here for the experience, okay? Some people come into the Big Brother house for the experience, but I am here to win because that $750,000 check is gonna have my name on it. Yeah, absolutely. So, outside of the game, I'm Jimmy. I work. I play tennis. I hang out with my animals and my long term boyfriend Sean. And have a lot of really close and tight knit friends. I've moved around a little bit. I went from Florida to a college where I knew nobody and built a whole network from there. And then after college, I did it all again in a whole new city, built a whole new network and a whole new group of friends. And through that process, you find a lot of confidence in yourself. You really understand who you are, what you want to put out into the world, and then what you want to get from the world too. And I think that breeds a level of insight and maturity that somebody at 25 actually has that I think is really cool. And so into the house, I bring my smarts. I bring my life experiences and I bring this unabashed confidence and understanding of who I am and what I want to put out into the world and what I want to receive from it. Listen, I'm going to be the one to watch this summer because I'm going to give y'all strategy. I'm going to give y'all gameplay. I'm going to give y'all personality if you couldn't tell. I'm going to give y'all interesting television, all right? Because that's what we're here for. We're here to play a game, we're here to make friends, and we're here to make good TV. Yeah, I mean, going into the game, I have a strong strategic background, again, both personally and professionally, and I'm really ready to see that exercised in the house and in the game. I'm also really resilient. I think that's really important in the game as well, whether it's a competition where you're behind and have to catch up a little bit, or maybe you're thrown up on the block in back in a blind side and you really have to lean in and use last minute time to talk people into letting you stay or getting them to vote maybe a way that they didn't expect to. And I think not giving up, fighting for every point, something that I'm really used to doing, is going to serve me really well in the Big Brother house. And I'm also a triplet. So I know how to stick out amongst a crowd and I know how to play that to my advantage. Know when I have to lean in and know when I have to lean out in the key moments. And I really think that's going to work to my advantage in the house. Gosh, I think I'm really trusting. I think that's going to be a weakness of mine. Once I really latch onto people and feel like I have a good connection, I feel like I'd be vulnerable to a blind side. So I definitely think that's a weakness I'm looking forward to, or maybe not so much. And I also think a weakness I have is maybe I won't think I need to win a competition because I don't want to show how strong or how smart I am, but maybe it was the right time to win that competition. So those are the two things I'm kind of weary about, is that I'm over trusting and maybe in a way that leads to me not winning a competition that I might need to win because I don't feel like I have to win it at the time. Absolutely. You think I'm going to walk in this house and tell everybody I have a professional strategy background? Or that I'm from Washington, D.C., especially right now? No, I am a tennis coach and I am from Bradenton, Florida, all right? I don't need people worrying about my professional background. I don't need people worrying about where I'm from. I want them to focus on this personality and I want them to focus on how fun I am. I want them to focus on the fact that I'm a triplet, but I 100% will not be telling anybody what I do for work or where I work. I'm definitely more of a villain, but see, when I say that, most people actually tell me I'm more of a hero, so I think it could go either way. In my mind, I'm more of a villain. When it comes to Snap 2, I really do, and I also think I tell it how it is, and I'm kind of a sorry, I don't know if I can say but I kind of am. So I also read it down very consistently. So I think I'll definitely lean more towards the villain side. But again, a lot of people tell me I'm good-natured and a lot nicer than I think I am. So who knows? Maybe I could be a hero. Maybe a villain who's a hero. Does that work? I'm gonna crush my enemies by being their friend. I think there's something so interesting about being a frenemy with somebody and then turning around and putting them on the block. You know what I mean? And then sitting there in front of the entire house, telling them exactly what I think of them. So I think that is a really good way to shut somebody up. Also, like a few reads here and there definitely help, but I'm always ready to put somebody in their place. I'm the youngest of three and I've always had to fight for my own, and I'm ready to do that in the Big Brother house. Well, you guys have never had a triplet on, so that's new. I also think I'm gonna bring like a unique and interesting energy. I don't really give a shit what people think about me, and I think that's gonna bode well for me in the house and with America. I'm also not afraid to run right up to an edge and just jump right off and see where it goes. And I think that's a unique twist that, especially in maybe the more modern seasons, some people have been afraid of. But again, I bring a level of strategic knowledge, ingenuity, and also a level of happiness and energy kind of all wrapped up into a cute little gift basket, if I do say so myself. Yeah, I would say I'm a solid fan. I've seen most Big Brother seasons, not all of them. I started watching with my mom, primarily around like earlier Big Brother seasons around BB10. And then I've just watched since then. So I've seen a lot of the show. I wouldn't consider myself a super fan, but I'm definitely a big fan of the show and definitely understand how the ins and outs of the shows work, the unique characters that exist, and really how to play a solid game that you really want to do to win, right? Not showing all your cards at once, but moving strategically through the game. I know I'm gonna win Big Brother. First, I've been manifesting it for weeks now, all right? I've been seeing myself walk out of that, onto that stage, seeing Julie Chen. For some reason, the confetti's purple to me, so I've been seeing that, and I'm excited for everybody else to see it too. But I have the smarts, I have the social game, and I know what it takes to win competitions and when you need to win competitions. I know how to play people, and I know how to manipulate them. But at the end of the day, I also know how to build relationships with and create friends. I know how to work a house and a group of people in a way that strategically matches the goal that I'm trying to achieve, which in this case is winning Big Brother. So I'm going to lean into that social game. I'm going to play with my competition and strategy smarts. And I'm also going to make friends along the way and walk out of that house collecting a check of $750,000, all right? Yeah, so going into the house, I want to be a part of a bigger alliance right away, right? I don't want to form the alliance. I want to be in situations where the alliance comes to me. Because the last thing you want to do is everybody finds out you're trying to form some bigger alliance, right? Then within that bigger alliance, that's usually around 6 to 8 people, I want to form a couple different threesomes. I want to find 1, 2, maybe even 3 different groups of 3. I said group of 8, maybe a group of 9. All right. So I want to find those threesomes within the larger group. And within that, I want to find a ride or die and what I call a good div. Div is too long, div is just right. And through that, I want to make a few final 2s and a few final 3s. That way you have an alliance within an alliance. The bigger alliances, they always break up. They always implode a few weeks into the competition. So you need to have those smaller alliances together so that when the bigger alliance breaks up, you have something to latch onto. Then from there, you figure out who your competition is. You figure out who's running the other side of the house, who the masterminds are, and you eliminate them. You get them out right away. You don't want to be like Cody in BB16 when he had the opportunity to send Derek home and didn't, all right? I'm going to be the one who's going to send my competition home when given the opportunity and when I have all the power, all right? So my strategy going in is to build that bigger alliance, build smaller alliances within that alliance, and have a few final 3s and final 2s that I can really lean into when the time is right. And at the end, you want to take somebody to final 2 that you know you can beat. You don't want to pull a Chelsea and Mackenzie all over again. When Mackenzie should have taken Cam with her, come on, she would have beaten him, all right? I'm not taking a Chelsea with me to the final. I'm taking somebody I can beat, and that's how I'm going to win BB27. Big Brother has been such a success because every season, there's something a little different. There's a new twist, there's a new turn, and the house guests always have a willingness to adapt to what's coming. And the house guests are always different every season. There's always a different crop of people with interesting personalities. And I think that brings America coming back to see what's in store, right? But there is a framework, right? It's literally like a box of chocolates. You open the box and you know there's chocolate in it, but you don't know if there's a macadamia nut inside. You don't know if there's peanut butter inside, right? And it's always a welcome surprise. So I think Big Brother's been successful for so long because there's a formula and a lot of variables within that formula that keeps the show interesting and keeps people coming back. And hell, this season they get to see me on the screen, all right? So that's even better for them to come back 25 more years after this.